Even by California standards, this Bigfoot encounter stood out as highly unusual. Witnesses described a towering, foul-smelling, hairy creature around 9 feet tall. By Christine Hitt, Hawaii contributing editor, January 31, 2026. Bigfoot sightings are typically linked to remote woodlands or rugged terrain, not suburban streets. But on the evening of May 10, 1982, several people in the city of Buena in Orange County claimed to witness something extraordinary. A loud, hulking, hair-covered figure estimated to be about 9 feet tall. "We heard a sound first, and then everyone turned to look," Raymond Hensley recounted during a phone call with SF Gate. "And then this awful stench came through." At the time, Hensley was 16, spending time with his 18-year-old brother and some friends behind their apartment building when they noticed the creature roughly 30 feet away in a nearby drainage ditch. Hensley mimicked the growling noise he remembered the figure making, deep and animalistic. The being, he said, stood upright like a man but gave off an overwhelming presence. It seemed to grow taller as the roar got louder. In his mind, there's no doubt it was Bigfoot. If not, then perhaps a bear at the very least. "That thing wasn't human," he insisted. "It was terrifying. It was real. Nobody will convince me otherwise," he said. "Me and 3 other guys really saw it, smelled it, and heard it. I truly believe it was the real thing, even now." Thinking police wouldn't believe their account, Hensley's brother had an aunt contact authorities, according to a May 12, 1982 article in the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner. The apartment complex manager, Frank Missanelli, also reported the incident. Initially skeptical when residents beckoned him over, Missanelli's doubts vanished after he heard a noise like the dinosaurs in the movies and caught a revolting scent like hell, worse than any sewer. The creature had disappeared by the time he arrived, but when he returned with a flashlight, he said he discovered oversized tracks. "The prints were enormous," he told the Herald-Examiner. "Honestly, I got scared. I'm 67 years old. What if that thing wanted to come into the apartments?" Police reportedly reacted with skepticism, and residents were upset by the delayed response. Officers didn't show up for nearly an hour. "They should have just come out instead of grilling me with questions," Missanelli said. "I told them I was the manager, and they said, 'We get prank calls all the time.' They should have sent a helicopter out immediately. Then they could have caught it." 6 officers eventually arrived but found no tracks or lingering smell. A police spokesperson later told reporters, "It's probably someone's pet." Over the next several days, about 100 local residents kept vigil near the scene, hoping for another glimpse of the creature they'd come to call Buena Foot. The sighting quickly became local legend, prompting people to stay indoors and keep children close. Police said they received hundreds of calls, including another report of a sighting in the same canal. Officers responded, but again, found nothing. Not long after, 2 paranormal researchers, Tom Muzila and Dennis Ruminer from the group Special Forces Investigations, arrived to examine the area. Using divining rods, they tried to trace the creature's movements. They reported finding a large footprint resembling a human's, with 5 big toe marks and around 7 inches across the ball of the foot, Ruminer told United Press International. Unfortunately, another person stepped on the print before it could be properly documented, ruining the evidence. About 150 yards away in a drainage tunnel, the investigators found another peculiar impression. "We spotted a handprint pressed into the mud bank," Ruminer said. "You could see the first 3 fingers and a thumb. I tried to press my hand into the same spot and couldn't go in nearly as deep, and I weigh 170 pounds. A plaster cast was made, but its current location remains unknown." Police dismissed the sightings. A few days later, local authorities held a press conference declaring the mystery resolved. They described a 5'8" unhoused man, shirtless with shoulder-length hair and a beard, who had been seen half a mile from the original sighting by another paranormal investigator. Authorities claimed this man had likely been mistaken for the creature, but those who had first reported the event didn't buy it, Missanelli included. "The police are covering it up," Missanelli told UPI. David Bians, another eyewitness, agreed. "That wasn't a human being, no way," the 25-year-old said to the Herald-Examiner on May 16, 1982. "Maybe they're just trying to clear people out of the canal area." While Bigfoot sightings in California are not uncommon, so much so that a recent bill proposed naming it the state's official cryptid, they typically occur in mountainous, less populated regions, such as Mendocino County or Southern California's forested areas. Reports are rare in urbanized counties like Los Angeles and Orange. All I know is our local case here in Buena Park almost certainly wasn't Bigfoot, said Orange County historian Chris Jepson in an interview with SF Gate. Most likely it was a false alarm, probably just some poor guy down in that drainage ditch. Jepson, who wrote about the event on his blog in 2018, said such tales are out of the ordinary for the region. We just don't hear these kinds of stories down here, he said. He mentioned the only other Bigfoot reference he could find in the area was Knott's Berry Farm's Bigfoot Rapids ride, though park historian Alan Polovic told SF Gate the attraction wasn't inspired by the 1982 Buena Foot incident. Skepticism persists, but so does belief.
While many remain unconvinced, others see parallels in common wildlife encounters. The first thing I'd ask is, let's consider wild animals. You get coyotes and even bears in LA and Orange County sometimes, so why not Bigfoot?
Nelson explained that the museum includes local settler history and Native American oral traditions, many of which describe a being similar to Bigfoot. Around 1/3 of the museum's exhibits are dedicated to the elusive cryptid.
After reviewing the details of the Buena Foot handprint cast from 1982, Nelson said it resembled other known Bigfoot impressions. It looks like it was grabbing onto the hillside to climb, he observed. However, he couldn't determine whether there were skin ridges or distinct thumb positioning, traits often noted in genuine casts. Nelson considers himself a hopeful skeptic. He pointed out that scientists once believed early humans had only a few ancestral species. Now there are over a dozen. It's not far-fetched to think there could be more, he said. There's enough evidence, some call it circumstantial, that it deserves further study.
Now living in Colorado, Raymond Hensley remains one of the few people alive who witnessed Buena Foot that night nearly 44 years ago. He admits he's joked about it with doubters over the years, but in his heart, their disbelief hasn't shaken what he knows to be true. If they had seen it, smelled it, and heard it like we did, they'd believe it too, he said.